Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Here's the headline: VA disability claim status. How do you know if your application was approved? So I found this article and I thought I'd share it with you. It's always, in my opinion, good to read what other people are saying about the process, even when you feel like you know it very well. There may be, who knows, information that might not be fully true, or there might be new pieces of information that may be true that you didn't know about. So, either way, it's always good to figure it out, and I'm glad you're here with me. So, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Do two things for me: hit that thumbs up and let the video run so this information can get into the hands of those that need it. If you want to support the channel in other ways, consider being a member. You can join and become a member. That helps me to find you quicker in the comments as well. All right, so jumping into it here, again, this is on marca.com, and the headline: VA disability claim status. How do you know if your application was approved? The subheadline says timeline can vary based on different factors. So let's jump into it and see if we can find any nuggets here. Common concerns among veterans seeking Veterans Affairs benefits is the duration of the claims process, prompting the question: how long do VA claims take? The timeline for receiving a decision can vary based on such factors as claim complexity, evidence availability, and processing volume. Fortunately, recent data offers insights into the average durations for different types of VA claims. Now, I'll stop right there. On the VA's website, there is a section that does tell you the average time it is taking them to process a claim. But again, that's just an average. If you had a person submit one condition with all the evidence, very easy, and the VA did not need to try to contact doctors and that type of stuff to get evidence, it would move quickly. If you're filing for 73 different conditions and you're asking the VA to reach out to 47 different doctors' offices and hospitals, it's going to take quite longer. All right, so moving on. As of March 2023, the processing time for standard VA claims and appeals, excluding the Board of Appeals, is approximately 120 to 150 days, and I'd say it's about the same now. This window also applies to VA supplemental claims and higher level reviews. Notably, BVA, which is the Board of Veterans Appeals, direct docket appeals are currently averaging 3 years, although the BVA is actively working to expedite this process in the coming year. The variation in processing times can be attributed to the intricate nature of each claim, the accessibility of evidence, the overall caseload. The VA claims process involves multiple steps, including the initial application, evidence gathering and review by a Veterans Service Representative, a VSR. Delays may occur if additional evidence is required, especially for first-time claimants, necessitating the acquisition of service treatment records, military service records, and verification of service era. Moreover, the appeals process adds another layer to the timeline, with an average adjudication period of 120 to 150 days. Despite potential frustrations during the waiting period, it is crucial for veterans to recognize the VA's commitment to fair and accurate claims processing. All right, so let's stop there for a second. When it comes to the processing times, again, I believe you actually have a little bit of control, right? The more work you do up front, the faster and quicker the claims process should be, because you're providing everything that the VA needs in order to make a solid decision. Now, there's 3 components to that. Now, this part's really important, so if you're watching, please stick with me. If you need it, good. If you know somebody who needs this information, share it with them. The 3 components to help your claim move smoothly or more rapidly through the process is providing the VA the things that they need to make the decisions they need to make. In my mind, and I could be wrong, but in my mind, there's 3 things. 1, you need to help them rule in your favor, grant you service connection, okay? And I'll explain that in a minute. I'm just going to give you the topics and I'll dive into each one. Help them give you that service connection. Provide them the information they need. Number two is give them the information they need to give you the correct rating, so they don't have to sit there guessing and reading through everything to try to figure it out. Make it easy for them to give you the appropriate rating. The last thing is making sure that if your condition is static, provide them the information they need in order to give you a static designation for your rating. These are things that are important, and it will save them time if you have it very clear and in one spot for them. Now, here's, again, what I would do if I were to file a claim today. One, you want to make sure you get your service connection. Now, there's a lot of nuance, I get it. I'll just kind of be high level. Your ability to have a service connected condition really boils down to three things. You have to give them your time and service. You need to provide them your DD-214 or equivalent, right? Your NGB-22 or whatever you got that you're hammering your service connection condition on. So most likely it's a DD-214. So you have your DD-214 or DD-214s that create a time period for you. That creates the window of opportunity. Number two, you need to have and provide them a diagnosis. You need to actually go to the doctor, get diagnosed for the condition that you're going to be filing for. Now, I think personally, it's a good idea that if your doctor says, hey, we could prescribe you this for your GERD, or we could prescribe you this for your migraines, or we could prescribe you this for your insomnia to help you get a better night's sleep. Say yes and take that prescription. Now, it's up to you. People do what you do, right? If you want to chew on some tan bark for a month or two prior to trying to take the prescription, because look, you're putting things in your body, and it's not always the best things to be putting into your body. So sometimes we'll try a more holistic approach, and that's fine. But if the doctor wants to prescribe you, let them prescribe you. It does two things. One, it shows the severity, right? If you're severe enough to be prescribed something and you want to suffer through it, that's on you, right? But your symptoms are severe enough for a prescription. Number two, it helps to validate your diagnosis, right? Nobody's going to prescribe you something if you don't have it. So that's number two, getting the diagnosis. If they want to prescribe you, let them prescribe you. Number three is the nexus, the link between the condition and your time in service. Ideally, you got diagnosed while you were serving in that window of opportunity that I talked about, your time in service. If not, you have to build a bridge back to your time in service, and that's a letter from you explaining why you never got diagnosed when you were in. Letters from people you served with attesting to knowing that you've had that condition. A letter from a spouse if you were married stating that they know you had that condition while you were in. Getting a letter from your doctor, a Nexus Letter, basically stating that the doctor believes that it is at least likely as not, a 50-50 coin flip, that it is at least likely as not that your condition manifested or is a result of your time in service. Now, that's that first one, making sure you can get that service connection. Number two was making sure that you get the appropriate rating. Read the schedule of ratings. Take the time to read the schedule of ratings for the specific conditions in which you're filing for. You're going to want to, in some cases, there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. Your high blood pressure is your high blood pressure. Your numbers are your numbers. But there's other things like migraines and GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, that bad heartburn, right? Where you need to, as the patient, explain your symptoms. And oftentimes, we do a horrible job explaining our symptoms because we downplay everything. I'm fine. I'm okay. Rub some dirt on it. It's going to go away. It's all right. How is your GERD? It's just bad heartburn. Can you tell me anything else about it? It's just really bad heartburn. And if that's what you say, you probably aren't going to get, you might maybe get a 10% if you squeak out some regurgitation, right? So it's just bad heartburn. It's like, there's a little bit of regurgitation, it's just bad heartburn. And if that's all you say, then you're going to get the lowest rating. Now, if you're more, detailed with your explanation of how it really is, instead of downplaying everything, you're going to get a higher rating. So you need to know what the VA is looking for your specific condition. You're going to find that in the schedule of ratings. Read through it, be honest with yourself, and look, if I meet all the criteria for a 60% rating, then I should be rated 60% for GERD. If I meet all the criteria for a 30 but not the 60, then I should be rated at 30%. But guess what? I need to make sure that I recite the same things that they're looking for. And you want to make sure that you mention those things to your doctor. Have your doctor, if you got a Nexus letter, have your doctor put those symptoms into your Nexus letter. If you have the opportunity to have your doctor write up a DBQ, have them write up a DBQ and have them include that criteria in the DBQ. When you go to your CNP exam, make sure you recite that criteria for that 30% rating in your CNP exam. Okay, that's making sure that that information is easily findable for the rating officer at the VA, so they can assign the appropriate rating for you. Lastly, if your condition is something like migraines or whatever, if you have a condition that has never changed, it's only gotten worse, and it's been years and years and years, ideally more than 5 years that you've had the condition, and it has never changed in severity or it's gotten worse, make sure you let your doctor know. And have them, if they wrote a Nexus letter, have them include in bold letters that your condition is considered static, that it is not likely to get better in any way, and most likely will get worse in the years to come. Have them put in that, something like that in there will allow the VA to read that and go, oh, okay, well, it's static. He meets all these criteria for the 30% rating, and it's a static condition. Perfect. Makes it very easy to assign. You want to make their job as easy as you can, and you can do it by providing that type of information. The information they're looking for to provide you the service connection, the information they're looking for to provide you the correct rating, the information they're looking for to decide whether or not to assign a future exam. If you're static, there's no future exam. If you're not static, there will be a future exam unless you're rated at the lowest rating. So if the lowest rating is a 10% for that specific condition, and you're rated at 10%, you have no future exam because you're already at the lowest. They're not going to make you lower than the lowest rating. So just a little side note. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.